Hello everyone, my name is Post-Production Pi, Editor-in-Chief for srlounge.com. Welcome to another installment of our weekly Ordinary to Extraordinary Raw Edit featuring the SR Lounge Lightroom Preset System V5. As always, we're going to be demonstrating how to create these different effects using the preset system first, and then we'll be going through all the actual develop settings just to help everyone understand what's going on behind each of these effects and, well, behind the overall look to our images. Now, that way everybody that's watching can benefit whether you have the preset system or you don't, and if you don't, well, if you're interested in learning more, then be sure to just click on the link below in the description. It'll take you right to the SR Lounge store where you can read and research to your heart's content. All right, I'm done talking now. Let's get started. In this video, we're going to be demonstrating producing wedding details. We get this question quite a bit. You might be shooting reception details of kind of all the different arrangements and centerpieces and tables. You might be shooting ring shots. Either way, we produce all of our details the same. We're using our Vivid presets for them. So we're going to do a little example because, well, we want to answer everybody's question. So let's get started right now. We have this image here. Let's check out how it was shot by hitting I. It was shot on a 5D Mark III on a 100mm 2.8 macro, and it's shot at 1/280th of a second at 2.8 at ISO 400. Now, I actually took this image at one of my clients' weddings, and it was kind of a cool, I don't know, I thought it was kind of a unique idea. They had this poster board that had their thumbprints on each of them. So his is green, well actually I think hers is green, his is blue, and their thumbprints are right next to each other. So I placed the rings right over the center of it so you can kind of see each of their fingerprints in the image. I thought it had kind of some significance to them. I don't know, maybe y'all like it, maybe y'all don't, who knows. They loved it. All right, that's all that matters. So we have this image here inside of Lightroom. We're going to go to our Vivid presets. And once again, we're typically importing this type of image along with just our standard import. So along with all the other wedding images, we're usually applying a soft import preset to it. So when I get it into Lightroom, or when I'm actually working on it inside of Lightroom, I'm going to apply the Vivid import preset to this. Or you can just apply one of the different Vivid presets. Generally, there's no need with this type of image to apply profile correction along with it. So let's just apply this Vivid import. What I'm going to do real quick is just straighten it out. So I'm going to just straighten it a little bit and then kind of balance out the composition, making it a little more centered. And that looks nice right there. Now, what we can do here is, actually, let me just make sure this is centered. I'm going to hit O to cycle to a different view, and let's just pull this right into the center. There we go. Looks better. Okay, now what I like to do is with one of these presets selected, we're just going to cycle between the different crushes. In general, we're using either the Vivid import or a light crush or a heavy crush. So it's going to be one of those three. And with the light crush, this is looking great. All I'm going to do is just adjust my exposure up till we get a nice little white point on the sparkles of our diamonds and on kind of the specular highlights. And really, we're done with the image. The last thing I'm going to do with this is just go and select a radial filter. Once again, if you're in Lightroom 4, you can do the same thing. This image, we have our subject centered. So you can also do this with just a lens vignette, but all we're going to do is just pull in a little burn just to kind of give it a little bit of oomph or just a little bit extra focus. All right, so we're just pulling this down to about a 60 feather. That way we have a subtle darkening of these edges. Not too much, not too light, just a nice little darkening effect where we can kind of see a little bit of extra color towards the edges and more brightness in the center. So we're done. That's really it. We just use the Vivid imports and then we'll sync an entire scene with all of the effects that we're doing. If we have multiple images in a scene that we want to apply the same effect to, we just sync it across. So let's check out the before and the after. With one click over here with the Vivid and an adjustment to our exposure, we get this image and also our radial filter or vignette, depends on whatever you prefer to use. All right, so not bad on the before and after. Again, you can hit the before and after by hitting backslash. So if you forget, just think of backslash as laying on its back. It's the one that's laying backwards. All right, let's go through our develop settings now and just talk about through what we did here. So with the Vivid import preset, basically what we're getting is this kind of HDR effect where we're pulling down highlights by -25 and pulling down the whites by -25. But with a crush, we're actually dropping shadows from +25 to 0 and blacks from +25 to 0. We're also adding 25 additional contrast, which is helping us to boost the overall contrast in the image. We have a mid-tone clarity boost of +30, vibrance +30, and saturation +10. This gives us a beautiful amount of extra color to the image. We also have our standard S-curve being added here, adding a little bit of contrast. And really, that's kind of it. All the other settings are just exactly what we've gone over previously. So we do have a sharpening that's being applied, just our standard amount of 70, 1.5, 10, and 30. We have no noise reduction that's necessary because these are details and we want to reveal all the detail possible. We zoom in and we see that the sharpening looks great. The top of the ring is very much in focus. I'm kind of one of those that likes to shoot my ring shots at lower apertures. Usually I'm only going up to f4. I don't mind if there's a little bit, like if the guy's ring is a little bit blurry. This is kind of more of an artistic shot where hers, it's really about her ring and kind of showing off the diamond and stuff. But I'm not a stickler with going, I'd really rather have the soft buttery background as opposed to getting everything perfectly in focus. So going down to lens corrections, we have the chromatic aberration turned on. That's just with the standard vivid import reset. So we don't have, the profile adjustment. It's not necessary. Under manual, we have it zeroed out right here under lens vignetting. We don't need it applied, so we just leave it at 0. All right, so that's really it for the overall effect. That's how we get that look. Again, here's the before, here's the after. It's that simple, that easy. That's how you edit your wedding details or any other details that you might be shooting at your events. Hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you all in the next video.